What's kicking, y'all? Kwikpanik here, and I'm back with another video, and today we have a Yu-Gi-Oh deck that I've been playing with lately. Now, right now we're in between formats. Maximum Crisis is going to be coming out this weekend in the sneak peek, and it'll be legal the week after that. So right now we're in between formats, and I love being in between formats because there's a lot of uncertainty. People are getting tired of playing the same meta deck they've been playing for the past couple months, and some fun stuff might come out of the woodworks. Personally, I was playing the Metal Foe Zoo deck, 60 cards. It was really consistent. There was nothing wrong with it by any means, but when you're playing competitively and you're playing in regionals and you're playing in YCSs just constantly and seeing the same cards over and over, it gets a little bit stale. So I went ahead and I built a deck for my locals. This is just for locals. This isn't for a regional. This isn't for a YCS. If you feel like playing it there, then go for it. Go for it. But I took one of my favorite decks, which is Zombies, and I put it together with another deck that I've been trying to use, but it just isn't that great this format, and that's Invoked. So there's a little bit of synergy between the cards. Aleister is a level 4, all the zombies, or most of the zombies are level 4, and they can both be summoned by Summoner Monk, so there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do there. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the deck profile, but before I do, I just want to remind everybody that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game first. And it's really important to take a break from the competitive scene so you don't get burnt out and play some cards that you actually enjoy using. So that's what I did here, and every once in a while you'll see me break free from the meta stuff, and I'll try something at a regional if I already have my invite that isn't that great. Zombies have had a lot of success lately with the Minerva version. I don't have a Minerva because I'm not a billionaire, but that'll be changing in a couple months here when Minerva gets reprinted. So I definitely add it to this deck whenever it comes out, if I'm still playing it. I like to change my decks up a little bit, but I'll get into the deck profile here. So the first couple cards here is just going to look like what we're playing in the Minerva version, and that's 3 Shiranui Solitaire. He's the Lone Fire for your Unizombie, and he gets a 1-card Omega, which is amazing. So playing him, and then I'm playing 1 Shiranui Spirit Master. That's the basic ratio that everybody's playing, but they get their effects when they're banished. So you'll notice that Invocation lets you banish from your graveyard materials for a fusion summon, and they let you make Purgatorio, which is an amazing fusion. So that's a really awesome combo. So I liked that synergy, so I went ahead and I ran with that. That's the Shiranui part. Then we have the 3 Unizombies, and Unizombies just amazing. It's a walking Foolish Burial. It's a tuner, so he's what lets you go into the Omega. He's one of my favorite zombie cards, honestly. He's based off of an old one, which is 3-Legged Zombie, who was a vanilla card back in the day. You probably don't know what he looks like. But then we have 3 Mezuki. I've been best friends with Mezuki since the Bryonic days, where you could go into Bryonic and pitch all your Mezukis and bounce all your opponent's cards and just banish everything. It was amazing. It was a fun time. It was a fun time. But Mezuki's back at 3, so Mezuki is an awesome card. You can banish him from the graveyard to target another zombie that you have in the graveyard and special summon it. There's no restrictions to how many times you can do that per turn. He's also a 1700 beat stick, so it's not really a huge brick, but he's a level 4 that you can special summon the Summer Monk as well if you need to. Then I'm running 2 Gozuki. That's Mezuki's brother. I love Gozuki. I would run more, but Unizombie already does his job pretty well. So I'm running the 2 Gozuki just because he's an Earth level 4, and he goes with Glow Bulb. And I'm running Glow Bulb in this zombie deck. So that makes Naturia Beast, if you don't know where I'm going with that. Then this is a zombie card that you probably don't know much about if you even know that it exists, but I'm running 2 Malevolent Mech Goku N. So he's one of 2 light zombie type monsters. The other one is Paladin of Cursed Dragon, which we're not running. I played around with it. It's a level 4 1900 1200, which is really just amazing stats for a level 4, but his effect is kind of underwhelming. It doesn't do anything unless your opponent's running zombies, which they probably aren't. So Malevolent Mech Goku N is a 2400 beat stick, and he's 6 stars, and you might think, well, why is that good? He's a normal summonable monster without attributing. So he's 2400 that you can just drop on the field with your normal summon, which you'll get extra of because I'm running Brilliant Fusion. Brilliant Fusion also lets you send him to the graveyard in order to fulfill the fusion materials for Seraph Knight. So there's a lot of utility with him. You can send him to the graveyard from your hand with Invocation, or banish him from the graveyard with Invocation to make Mechabo with Aleister. So he does a lot of fun stuff. He's a 2400 that you can just normal summon, but at the end of the turn, if you control him and you don't control another zombie, he destroys himself and you take 2400 points of damage, which is a lot. So you have to be careful when you use him. I usually use him when I'm pushing for game, or like I said, as fusion material. And then we have 3 Aleister. That's the invocation searcher, obviously. You need him to make all your fusions. Fun fact, you can pitch invocation or another spell that you'd have extras of to special summon him out if you have another invocation in your hand. And you can use that to search him out because I'm only playing one of the magical meltdowns. Then we have 2 Summoner Monk. You use him to special summon out your Shiranui Solitaire, and that goes... It's just an extender. He's awesome. He tutors a lot of cards in deck. He also tutors out Mezuki if you need to. If you want to go into an XYZ, detach him for a material, special summon something else with Mezuki. Or you can special summon Gozuki, use this effect to send Mezuki, and just go from there. So Summoner Monk has a lot of plays in this deck. There are spell cards that you probably... Well, you can't use more than once per turn, like Instant Fusion or Brilliant Fusion, and you can use those as fodder for his effect. I'm running 1 per 4 Mage Trick Clown. He helps you go into rank 4 plays. He's also a light, so you can send that with your Brilliant Fusion. Then I'm running the 1 Glow Bulb. I'm running Foolish Burial for it, and you can pitch it with Twin Twisters. There's not a whole lot, but you can also use your extra normal summon that you get with Brilliant Fusion to go into a Synchro play. Then I'm running the 1 Garnet for Brilliant Fusion, of course. And then I have 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Unfortunately, she's a Psychic, and next format or next pack, I will be able to put in my Ghost Dash, and then I'll have a zombie target as another tuner, which will be cool. And then 1 Maxine. That rounds out the monsters. As for the spells, I'm running 3 Brilliant Fusion. Like I said, this helps you get your extra normal summons. A lot of monsters in the deck require normal summon, like Aleister, so you can activate your Brilliant Fusion, you can ditch your Malevolent Mech Gokuen, and you can summon your Aleister, search out your invocation, and go into Mechaba. Or you can go into your big fat Earth Fusion guy, whose name I can't pronounce, and send Mezuki from your hand, and then banish Mezuki to special summon Malevolent Mech Gokuen. So there's just a whole bunch of stuff you can do depending on if you're going first or second. Then I'm running 2 Instant Fusion because we're running Norden, and Norden is broken. It's free rank 4, or it's a Synchro if you bring back your Unizombies. So I don't like Norden, but we're playing him because he's so good. And then I have 2 Twin Twisters because I hate back row. Not much to say about that. It also helps you pitch your zombies that you need in the graveyard or Glow Bulb. Then I'm running 2 Invocation, and I'm running 2 because DD Crow is a thing, and yeah, that's about it. And then 1 Magical Meltdown. I'm only running the 1 Magical Meltdown because the card is really underwhelming, but sometimes you need to dig for that Aleister, and if it's stuck in your hand, you can always pitch it with Summoner Monk, which is really cool, or Twin Twisters. Then we have Foolish Burial. Really no explanation needed there. And then Burial from a different dimension so we can reuse our Mezukis, which is my favorite card. So we're putting him back in the graveyard 20 times. We're going to special summon 20 times. He's just freaking awesome. Then we round it out with 3 traps, and that's Psalm Strike, the best trap of the format. I'm running these 3 traps because I really like to back up my disruptive plays. If I start with an Eteria Beast, or I start with Psyframe Lord Omega, or something to that effect that disrupts my opponent's first turn, it's really nice to have a backup. If you take a card out of their hand with Omega, or you negate something with Eteria Beast, and then you negate their summon after that, it puts your opponent in a really bad position. So that's why I'm playing that trap card. I really shouldn't have to explain that one. The next one is the extra deck, and we're going with Daigusta Emerald, just so I can put back my Seraph Knight or my Garnet. It also nets you a free draw. There's so many things that Daigusta Emerald is good at, and you could also special summon the Garnet. Just fun fact if you need to. Gagaga Samurai. So if you go into a Gagaga Samurai play with Summoner Monk and you actually put out Mezuki, bring out Mezuki with Summoner Monk, and you remove Mezuki for the activation of Gagaga Samurai's effect, and you already have a Malevolent Mech Gokuen in your graveyard, you can banish the Mezuki, special summon Malevolent Mech, and then this guy puts out 38 points of damage, and then Malevolent Mech puts out 24. So that's already 6,200 points of damage. That's insane. And you can just normal summon the Malevolent Mech if you'd like. So I like this guy just because of that play, honestly. Then we have our fusions. We have 1 Gem Knight Seraph Knight. He lets you get your extra normal summon. Also, if you went ahead and used your Brilliant Fusion to get this guy out, and you went into the Gagaga Samurai and you have the Malevolent Mech Goku play, you can actually OTK if you have another spell in your hand. So this is going to go up to 2,300 because you discard the spell for Brilliant Fusion's effect, so he can attack, or so he gains his attack back. So that's 23 plus the 24 plus the 38. So that's 8,500 points of damage. So there's some explosive plays, I'm not going to lie. Then we have Norden. If you don't know what he does, don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! We got Invoked Ragin, And you can actually bring this out with instant fusion, fun fact. And you can book something face down that's pesky or in the way, and then you can summon your Unizombie and make an Omega, which is really cool. Then I'm playing this awesome guy. So you make him by banishing your Shiranuis with Invocation and Aleister, of course, and your Shiranui will get their effect. And then this guy is insane. He gains attack, 200 attack points for every card your opponent controls, and then he can attack all your opponent's monsters, and he gets piercing damage. He's an amazing card. I really like him. I can't justify putting a second one, but it's really important to have the one in there, I think. Then I have one Mechaba. A lot of people that are running this deck, not this deck specifically, but Invoked, will run more than one Mechaba because it's such a powerful card. I honestly don't have the space for it because I'm running 2 of the big fat earth guys. And I'm running 2 of the big fat earth guys because I can use Invocation to send materials from my hand as well. So I can send my Mezuki, or I can send my Glow Bulb, or I can send my Gozuki. And Gozuki actually has an effect where he's sent to the graveyard, where I can banish another zombie from my graveyard to special summon a zombie from my hand, like Malevolent Met Goku N. So if I do that, I have this fat guy with 3,000, and then Goku N with 24, which makes 54. Lots of points of damage. So I might take out one of... It's really hard, but I might take out one of them for a second Omega, but the space is really tight in this deck. There's the Naturia Beast I'm talking about. Your only way to get him out is with Glow Bulb. Then we have Black Rose Dragon. If things get out of hand and your opponent starts building a field you can't deal with, you can go ahead and you can use Summoner Monk to get your Shiranui Solitaire, and then Solitaire pops off for Unizombie, and that's a level 7 Synchro. Then we have the star of the show. I really want to fit a second one in, and that's probably something that I'm going to look at doing before I play this deck for fun again. But Cyframe Lord Omega. Amazing disruptive card. He also lets you recycle all of your Mizukis. Then we have Scarlight. And then Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. I always like to play this card if I can make it, just because ripping a card from your hand, your opponent's hand, and your opponent's field and their graveyard, that's amazing, because the graveyard is just as much a resource as the hand and field are this format. So Trishula, awesome. You can make it by using your Glow Bulb with 2 level 4s, which is really easy to get out, honestly. And then the last one I have, and this might be the card that comes out for the Omega, but I really wanted to have him in the deck, is Leo. So Leo can only be targeted during your own main phase 2, which is amazing. So you can make this guy using your Unizombie and your Malevolent Met Goku N. He can't attack that turn because in order to use Unizombie's effect, only zombie monsters can attack for the rest of the turn if you use the one to send from the deck. But you could always pitch from the hand, make this guy, and you can attack with it. But he's really hard to get around without a Raigeki or a Dark Hole. So that's why I'm running that guy. That's the end of the profile. I don't have a side deck for this, really. I just use a generic side deck with like DD Crows and Lancias and Anti-Spell Fragrance, just the normal stuff. Like I said, it's just a fun deck, so I don't really focus too much on side decking, and that's the whole thing right there. So if you guys have any comments or suggestions for future videos, maybe some other fun decks that you'd like to see. Deck building is my absolute favorite part of this game. And if I can do this a little bit more for you guys and for myself, it's actually really relaxing and it helps me enjoy the game a little bit more. So I hope you guys take some time and you play some fun decks and put down the Zodiac stuff for a little bit, just long enough to enjoy the game a little bit. Because remember, it is a game first. It's something that was a huge part of my childhood. So every time I go back to this, it's just an amazing thing for my own psyche and all that fun stuff. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Later.